Hola, bienvenidos al vodcast 6.2. Welcome, I'm Senora Stanias, and in this vodcast we'll be talking about using the subjunctive in adverbial clauses. Make sure that you have your grammar packet with you as we go through this vodcast, and be sure to write down any questions you have, fill in the information that you need in order to be able to understand the use of the subjunctive tense in adverbial clauses. We'll also be able to identify specific conjunctions that do require the subjunctive, and also note that there are going to be some conjunctions that we might be using the indicative or the subjunctive in our adverbial clauses. So, in Spanish, adverbial clauses are commonly introduced by conjunctions. Certain conjunctions require that the subjunctive be because they introduce actions or states that are uncertain or have not yet happened. These conjunctions are commonly used, they express purpose, condition, or intent. And here they are. A menos que, antes de que, con tal de que, en caso de que, para que, and sin que. Again, be sure and pause as needed. An adverbial clause is one that modifies or describes verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Remember that it's going to describe the how, why, when, or where an action takes place. Here are some examples. Se acabará el petróleo en pocos años, a menos que busquemos energías alternativas. El gobierno se prepara en caso de que haya una gran sequía el verano que viene. Iremos a las montañas el próximo miércoles, a menos que haga mal tiempo. Debemos proteger a los animales salvajes antes de que se extingan. Change in subject? Well, if there is no change in subject in a sentence, then a subordinate clause is not necessary. Instead, you'll probably see the use of these prepositions, which are then going to be followed by the infinitive. So they would be antes de, con tal de, en caso de, para, and sin. Here's a note that the connector is not necessary because we are not changing the subject. Couple of examples. Las organizaciones ecologistas trabajan para proteger los arrecifes de coral. Tienes que pedir permiso antes de darles de comer a los monos del zoológico. Subjuntivo o indicativo. If the action in the main clause has not yet occurred, then the subjunctive is used after the conjunctions of time or concession. And you have those listed in your grammar packet. Note that adverbial clauses often come at the beginning of the sentence. So these are our conjunctions of time or concession. A pesar de que, aunque, cuando, después de que, en cuanto, hasta que, luego que, mientras que, siempre que, y tan pronto como. Now, examples of when we will need to use a subjunctive with those conjunctions. La excursión no saldrá hasta que estemos todos. Dejaremos libre al pájaro en cuanto el veterinario nos diga que puede volar. Aunque me digan que es inofensivo, no me acercaré al perro. Cuando Pedro vaya a cazar, tendrá cuidado con las serpientes venenosas. Again, these all require the subjunctive. In ejemplos del indicativo. Now, if the action in the main clause has already happened or happens habitually, then we use the indicative after these conjunctions of time or concession in the adverbial clause. Tan pronto como paró de llover, Miguel salió a jugar. Mi padre y yo siempre nos peleamos cuando hablamos del calentamiento global. This ends this podcast. Please be sure you complete the Google Docs you'll find below this podcast. Gracias y hasta mañana.